What's up, TF family? My name is The Speed of Light, and I'm introducing myself today because it turns out I reached 1,000 subscribers without actually realizing it. So I have a lot of new followers to talk to and to get to know, and I think it's going to be really cool, but I couldn't get here without you guys, so I really appreciate all of the support and love. If you're here for the speed paints, then this probably isn't your cup of tea. If you're here for this shitty content, then I'm so happy you're here. But today's video is going to be kind of either depressing or inspiring, depending on how you take it. Just a quick disclaimer, obviously you read the title. We are going to be talking about mental illness today, so if something triggers you, please click away immediately. You don't want to be giving anybody any ideas or anything, so we're not going to delve too deep into things, but we kind of are, so I guess just be careful, okay? As well, I know a lot of my followers are really young. I know that you guys are like 13, 14 years old, and I want you to know if I talk about anything today that you seem to identify with, please do not go self-diagnosed. I need you guys to go seek help if you feel that you need the help. So, if I'm talking about depression and I say something and you're like, wow, me too, I must have blah, blah, blah. Don't just do that. Go to the doctor, please, because I let things slip for too long, and that's not how you should have to live. I know mental illness is like a really thin topic to talk about. If you slip through a crack, people are going to destroy you. I'm basing everything I talk about off personal experience because this is about me. So if anybody thinks that this is for like views or if I'm trying to be relatable, I'm not. I just want to get to know people, and I want people to get to know me on a real basis. And the first thing you need to know about me is I suffer from a lot of disorders, and it's bad. And it's like a grocery list of disorders on my charts and everything, and it's kind of shitty, but at the same time, I want you guys to know how much Transformers has helped me. This is a positive video. I'm going to try to make this a positive experience. But please, please, please do not think that I am making it just because everyone else is making these kinds of videos right now. The big thing is we have to get into how Transformers helped me, and to do that, I have to tell you my life story. So get ready to be bored, because I don't have a really interesting life. So when I was about 3 years old, I had my first visual hallucination, and he appeared as a man in the middle of this rainstorm we were having, with a big coat on and a big like fisherman's hat. Like if you've ever seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this is terrifying, by the way. The Rat King, ironically Jeffrey Combs, hello Jeffrey Combs, the only reason he didn't scare me. The Rat King is who I saw sitting on the stump outside. And I was 3, so obviously TMNT hadn't even like come out yet, but the Rat King from this, I think it's 2012 series, was who I saw, but with yellow eyes instead of red eyes, and it was like utterly terrifying. But everyone in my family told me it was just a dream, so that's what I went on believing. When I was 11 years old, I was in 6th grade, and I was going through a really rough patch. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I thought I wanted to be a boy, but I didn't know, and I knew I liked girls, and I hated myself for liking girls, and I tried to kill myself twice, so that happened. That kind of came and went, and the bullies kind of left me alone, but I also beat a lot of people up, so don't do that either. But I never really had anything to fall back on, so I never really had any friends, and I was like going in and out of fandoms. It was just weird. It was just a weird time for me. Okay, so when I was 16 years old, I was diagnosed with social anxiety, manic depression, and psychosis type A. Now, social anxiety, I'm going to read this right now. I have it on here. Social anxiety disorder, also called social phobia, is an anxiety disorder in which a person has an excessive and unreasonable fear of social situations. Anxiety, intense nervousness, and self-consciousness arise from a fear of being closely watched, judged, and criticized by others. it turns out the definition for manic depression is just bipolar disorder, but they didn't call it bipolar disorder until I was 18, so we'll get to that. But the definition of psychosis is very interesting. Psychosis is a symptom or feature of mental illness typically characterized by radical changes in personality, impaired functioning, and a distorted or non-existent sense of objective reality. Basically, my anxiety stems from social situations. I'm extremely extroverted, but it is very, very, consuming of me. It just drains my energy to talk to people and to pretend that I'm happy in front of people, and it's really depressing. Manic depression is just bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder is mania, so any kind of, episodes, they're called manic episodes that you have when you have bipolar. I have bipolar type 1, which is borderline type 2 now because of the way I've been experiencing it and how severe it's gotten in the last year. But basically, my episodes, they can vary quite substantially, but mine are, I am extremely happy for the full day, the extent of my day, and then I will come home from either work or doing something, and instead of becoming completely depressed and upset, I become furious. The rage in my heart is consuming. It fills up and it just rips me apart, and it's awful because it's more frustrating, and I'm more frustrated because I can't understand what the fuck is happening to me, so I just sit there and I'm like, I want to kill a man, I want to kill a few men, I want to destroy the world. I turn into Megatron, and it's fantastic. And by fantastic, I mean, oh, I hate it so much. But, I mean, what am I going to do, right? So, I actually had to write this down because I couldn't remember it, but I was tested and treated for a year by 2 psychologists, an APRN, and a therapist. Nothing worked. They tested my hearing, my vision, my muscles. I did blood tests and more blood tests because they thought that it was connected to something in my brain, and I was like, well, honestly, I have no idea what's going on. Maybe it's a tumor. They thought it was a tumor. They thought it was, some fucking, I don't even know, but it was bizarre. And I was going through a lot. I was 17 years old. I was going through a lot for a 17-year-old kid. And the summer into senior year of high school, I discovered Transformers Prime. You're actually sitting on the book right now because I couldn't get a better stand yet. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm getting better, actually, because we just started talking about Transformers, so I'm excited. I fell in love with Optimus because he was this strong, brilliant figure that I connected with. He was what I held on to in my absolute weakest times. When I was having an episode, when I was sitting on the floor of my living room by myself, just with all the shades open, trying to get the sunlight to keep me happy, because I hear vitamin D keeps you happy, I was holding the phone. Suicide prevention is on the line. I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna do it. All I heard was his voice telling me that there's so much more. I promise I wouldn't cry. Telling me that I was worth so much more than that. And his beliefs and his whole his purpose gave me purpose, because it made me think, I want to be like that. I want to be strong enough to give other people my strength. And I didn't ever think that it was possible to come out of what I was feeling, but having Optimus's voice there, I mean, I heard voices already, so it didn't sound too crazy to me. Hearing voices and then hearing his voice just over them, just dull him out. He is the reason that I'm still here, and I'm not going to be dramatic about that. I'm not trying to make that sound oh my god, blah, 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 he's my hero. He's my fucking hero. Because without him, I would not be here. So, oh god. So, for a long time, a little bit anyway, Optimus became something of a mentor. He was absolutely what I wanted to be, and his voice trumped all other voices inside me, and I finally had some peace for a little while. And then Transformers Prime ended, but also school ended, so there's a twofer. Then, in the Christmas of 2014, my APRN at the time decided to cut all of my medications because I was having suicidal thoughts. I was placed on watch, and I went into the psych ward for 9 days, and it was pretty intense. But actually, in the ER, the doctors re-diagnosed me with bipolar disorder, severe anxiety, chronic depression, psychosis type A, PTSD, PMDD, disorganized thinking, and there was one more. I don't even remember what the last one was, to be honest, because I think they were like on the cusp of talking about that one, but they didn't or something. I don't remember. Because of that, I was at like a fall risk because I was having like seizures, and it was weird. But in the hospital, if you've ever watched Orange is the New Black, it was like that, but not prison. I'm not even kidding. I wish I was kidding. It was exactly like Orange is the New Black. The cliques, the people, the doctors, everyone. The way we were treated was kind of shitty, but also for our own good, blah, 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 whatever. The biggest thing is that, I'm going to turn the light up a little bit. The biggest thing is that we were put on watch, and we had to go to group therapies, and we had to do all this stuff. And at this point in my life, I was playing a pretend game with my little sister where we would be Transformers characters, and we had adventures, which were episodes, and every episode was going to be different, and there were seasons and story arcs and things, and it was really fun. But it was very, very elaborate. The way I explained it to her was, Optimus, who I played, was on Cybertron, and he actually got blindsided by a shot to the head, and because he was on Cybertron, they couldn't transport him. So Triage, who is Ratchet's understudy on Cybertron in a small little Autobot base, he actually took Optimus and treated him there away from the war so that he could recover. And 9 days later, we were back to playing our game, and it was so fun, but it was what kept me sane, because every night I lay down in that bed and I was like, one more night, like, I don't want to do my Optimus voice for you because it sucks, and if you're new, you're gonna cry and then leave. So either way, that's how I got through it, and it was so good. And I missed Rescue Bots. I missed a whole 2 episodes of Rescue Bots being in there, and it sucked. February of 2015, I started working at Dunkin' Donuts, and that was really awesome, and I finally, had purpose and a reason to get up every day, and that was really, really good for me. My newest doctor suggested that the hallucinations that I have been seeing my entire life were actually spirits, and I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, ghosts? And she suggested that I was sensitive to the paranormal, and I was like, oh, okay, so there's a kicker. Let's just add it to the list of things that are either wrong with me or could be wrong with me. Great, thank you. But, my newest psychologist and my group therapy director started treating me for my symptoms, and things were going fine. At this point, everything was going really, really good. I was managing my symptoms. I was meeting people. Transformers had become a really, really big part of my life. People were noticing my art. People were noticing my work. My Instagram account was blowing up, and I was finally feeling important and respected and noticed, and people were looking up to me, and I felt real responsibility. And that was when the voice in my head, the optimist voice in my head was like, you did it. This is the reason you stayed alive. You were meant to help people who are like you, who didn't think that they could get this far, and now look where they are. They're with you. They're following under you. And I was like, oh my god, this is great. I'm still talking to you in my head, but this is great. And I was getting noticed by important people, which is what really got me. People who had thousands and thousands of followers, people who had worked on many, many good things, had been paid by Hasbro and things, and blah, 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 whatever. I did my first comic book cover. I met my boyfriend. I was happy. And then, I met Peter Cullen in July of 2015, and everything felt validated. I handed him my art. He was like, whoa, this is great. And I was like, oh my god, thank you. And then I told him how he helped me through a lot of things, and he started to cry, and I cried, and we hugged, and he did his voice, and I was just like, adopt me. It was so great. I was so upset, but like a happy upset. And everything was really, really good until April of this year. The doctors that I was seeing cut all my medications. They refused to treat me. I have no idea what happened. They literally stopped helping me. And I don't think it's because I missed one appointment, because I missed one appointment. And when I tried to reschedule, she refused to treat me. So, I don't know. Fuck her, man. It was withdrawal was the worst thing I have ever gone through. Nothing could pull me out of that. Not even Transformers. It was, wow. You don't want to go through withdrawal. I would not wish that on my greatest enemy. I pulled myself out of it this time. I looked forward to TFCon this year. I looked forward to Robots in Disguise. I worked harder than ever on my art, and I improved so much this year, and I'm so proud of myself. When I actually wrote the list for this video out, I was going untreated. It says, currently going untreated in search of a new doctor. Next endeavor is to talk to a neurologist because I've started having seizures and my anxiety has tripled. Well, both of those things are true, but I just got a new doctor. She is an APRN, and she put me on a new medication called Latuda, which is for my bipolar disorder, because I told her the bipolar is the worst thing right now. It's really gotten bad these last few weeks, months. I want to say months now. When I was diagnosed previous, I also got Orion Pax, which is my German Shepherd. He is my emotional support animal. So he really, really helps me out too. I'll show you a video of him here. My dog, Orion. Can you come here? Can you get up? Up, all the way. Yep. Say hi. Look at them in the camera. Well, this is my dog. Do you guys remember him from my Decepticons cooking video? He got a lot bigger. Right? You good boy? Yeah. Can you look at the camera like a normal dog? I don't think he's gonna look at the camera, to be honest. Sit. Down. Yes. Sit. Yes. Release. Drop. Thank you. Back up. Good boy. Release. Drop. Good boy. Back up. Good. Can you sit? Good sit. Down. Good down. Release! Sorry for the trash can being in the way. Look at these people. Who are they? What are they doing? Orion is a registered emotional support animal, which means that he's allowed to live with me in my apartment, even though they don't allow dogs, which is pretty amazing. He actually just today pulled me out of an episode. I know, Big Pup, I know. He pulled me out of an episode, and I was like, oh, you've never done that before, that's so weird. And I was really, really skeptical about going and getting new medication because some of my medication did stuff to me like this.
I took my medication too late last night. I took it at like 2 p.m. I took it at like 2 a.m. And because of that, it's still working. So I'm very tired. I'm on the floor right now because I don't want to get up. There's the computer. So, as you guys can see, I'm not always like super bubbly and stuff. With my medication, it kind of kills my mood. Just because it needs to put me to sleep. So, it just makes me really tired. And my voice sounds weird. I sound like a boy. Just gonna take a quick nap. BRB.
And that's not fun. That's not fun at all. That was probably at my worst. I don't know how old I was. I was probably like 17.
I'm totally kidding. I only filmed that last year.
Even though I went spiraling out of control, Transformers helped me in more ways than I could possibly ever imagine. I wouldn't be here without fans, without friends, without the love and support of my followers. I have people to talk to now. I have people to get together with, and no matter what happens, this is something that I can fall back on. And a lot of people don't have that. So don't rat on people, man. Don't rat on people for liking things they like. Everybody is always, you know what? People were ratting on me for liking RID. I'm sorry, but when you're going through withdrawal and the only thing you look forward to every week is a new episode of Transformers Robots in Disguise, I don't care how shitty its content is. I don't care if you despise the show. I don't care if the creators are shit. I met Jeff Klein this year, and he was so grateful to me for liking that show. He was so grateful for me liking Transformers Prime. He was so grateful for RID, for Rescue Bots. He was so grateful and kind because I have never seen somebody work so hard on something, and it actually got me through my days. It kept me, week by week, I would just sit and wait for Transformers Robots in Disguise because without it, I would not be here. I have a lot of suicidal tendencies. Because of that, I have to keep going. I have to keep looking forward. Right now, what am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to Transformers 5, The Last Night. I am looking to the future because a month after I turn 21, exactly a month, May 23rd, June 23rd, Transformers 5 is going to come out. And then I'm going to look forward to the Bumblebee spinoff. And then I'm going to look forward to Transformers 6 and any of the Transformers stuff in between. Because I set the goal for myself, and then there's no possible way I'm missing it. That's what I have to keep telling myself, and that is why it's so important to let people like what they like, because without this, I would have nothing. I would have nothing. I would have nothing. I would have absolutely nothing. Please, 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 from the bottom of your heart, respect your fellow man. Because without him, without her, without them, without us, we are we are judged and screwed, and the world is gonna end way sooner than it's meant to. So, you know, take the time to enjoy the little things. Take the time to enjoy RID, to enjoy the movies, even if it's not your cup of tea. Appreciate it. I didn't look at this. Ready? I have one for you. I did not enjoy Transformers Combiner Wars. Okay, fair enough. The animation, oh my god. I appreciate the animation. The animation was beautiful. It was like Transformers Devastation came to life. It was so good. So, if I can find the light in the tunnel, you can find the light in the tunnel. And I want you to know that, again, you're not alone. This is not your own fight. Even if I'm not there 100% of the time, somebody will be. Somebody in this fandom will be. I'm sorry that this video was so long. If you made it to the end, thanks. I'm sorry that this video, like, completely shit on all of the happiness you were probably feeling inside. I'm sorry I cried. I don't ever cry, so, like, I'm having an episode probably right now, but, look. At the end of the day, Transformers is always going to be there, and it's always going to be changing. If you can't find something to be happy about, look to the future. Look at the world, look at what's going on, and try and get a goal, set the goal, work for the goal. Right now, my goal is to, sorry guys, to buy myself one of these babies. Right now, I am working my ass off at work for a 2015 Scion FRS. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, that's dumb, Nicole. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Not everyone's going to have the same goal. And not everyone is going to have the same potential. But I know that there's been a lot going on right now in the world. And if we don't stand together, we fall divided. So, make sure you love each other. Make sure you support each other. If one of your friends wants to go to TFCon every year, please let them. Please let them. But I want you guys to know. And there's nothing wrong with you for feeling the way you're feeling.